Hello, my pretties. What's up? It's the Queen of Lions here, and today I kind of wanted to sit there and discuss a different type of episode of The Loud House. Now, I know The Loud House is still going on as of today, and I was gonna do this in a Shows and Pretties episode, but I thought, I decided to do it here because, well, why not? I decide, what, I'll go ahead and do kind of like give it my thoughts and opinions on this. Like I was gonna originally talk about this in a Shadows and Praise episode, but I thought, I just sit there and, give it my thoughts and opinions like on here, basically in a separate video. Because if I were to talk about this and when I do a Loud House review of in Shadows and Praise in the near future, this episode that I'm particularly talking about would be extremely long, like the video would be maybe a 45-minute long video or something like that. I don't know. Okay. So, I'm going to put a disclaimer before I get anywhere, dive into this episode of The Loud House. I want to put a disclaimer that this is not going to attack anybody. This is not meant to attack, harass anybody who create this episode. This is not meant to harass or attack anybody. This is not me harassing or attacking anyone who is involved in making this episode. This is basically me sitting here and giving my thoughts and opinions on, The Loud House. I mean, if you like this, that's fine. Like, if you like this episode of The Loud House, that's fine. If you don't like it, I mean, that's perfectly understandable, as it's everyone's opinion. But I kind of want to, state that in the beginning before, before you guys comment on this or anything. Um One thing I'm going to start saying this now is that I've seen other people do, their reviews on No Such Luck from the Loud House, and I see Loud House review or rants No Such Luck. I mean, if you go on YouTube and you type it up, you're eventually going to see a bunch of, well, rant videos on Loud House No Such Luck. I mean, I've watched a couple of people reviewing this episode, so I went online to watch this episode for myself and see, okay, I need to see for myself before I go ahead and review this episode, just to give in my thoughts and opinions on it. So I decided to go ahead and watch the episode, and I mean, it's shit. That's how I could definitely start off with this episode. It's shit. Now, why is it garbage, you may be asking? Well, why not I go ahead and, kind of start explaining about this episode, because I mean, this episode has like a lot of backlash from, the community of the Loud House. Now, this is not to attack anybody who is a fan of the Loud House. It's just me stating my own personal opinion on this. So, I just want to state that before I go any further in the near future. Okay, I guess let's get started. So, this episode is the 8A episode or 66th episode of The Loud House, 14th episode of the second season. Now, this one was released in 2017 in most countries, 2018 in, Europe, Malta, Greece, Finland, 2019 in, Vietnam, Philippines, and even 2020 in Sri Lanka. So, yeah, just want to kind of state that now. Now, what this episode is basically about is basically Lincoln learns from his sisters that they have planned activities later in the day, and Lincoln, is forced to go to Lynn Jr.'s softball game, even though he didn't want to go there. He goes there, but unfortunately Lynn's team loses, and when Lynn Jr. loses, she overreacts and, you know, basically starts saying shit about Lincoln by saying that he's bad luck just because come she lose. Like, I mean, in this episode, from the beginning, Lynn Jr. is already being a bully towards Lincoln. Like, this is actually one of the reasons why I don't really like Lynn Jr. at times, because she acts like a bully towards Lincoln. Like, just because she lost at a game when Lincoln showed up, I mean, that's a really dumb excuse to think, to say that, he's bad luck. Like, he's just a brother. Like, I mean, not everybody wins at a game. It's like Lynn Jr. can't take a loss and starts being a spoiled sport in this episode. This is actually why a lot of people really don't like Lynn Jr. nowadays. I personally hated her in this episode. Not to sound harsh, but it's the honest truth. Eventually, the next day, Lenny wants to invite Lincoln to her activity, but Lynn Jr. spreads rumors saying that Lincoln's bad luck. But of course, Lincoln gets that stupid idea and confesses Lenny that this might cause something to go wrong if he was there. Same thing when it comes to, Lana wanting to ask Lincoln to go to her alligator wrestling match, Lola's pageant, Lori's golf tournament, and etc. etc. I mean, him saying a lie that he's bad luck. I mean, that's kind of stupid of Lincoln to say that. Like, if he wanted time to himself, he could have just said something straight up and stand up for himself, saying, "I want to be alone right now because of this." Because I'm sure they would understand if Lincoln wanted some time to himself. Like, if I personally wanted time to myself, I'd probably just say it right then and there, not deny anything or come up with some excuse. Eventually, Lincoln's lie goes too far, then involves him eating his breakfast in the living room, as he isn't allowed to join the family going to activities or the movies. I mean, it's kind of stupid, to be honest. Like, the parents believing in bad luck too is just kind of stupid in my opinion. I mean, like, who the hell believes in that kind of bull crap? Like, with all honesty, who the hell is stupid enough to sit there and do that? Like, really? I mean, there was another, and there's like another scene where Lincoln's bedroom gets boarded up, and he's forced to be sleeping outside, and is not allowed to come to the beach to celebrate the achievement Rita and Lincina receives. As Lincoln tries to reason his family, but their superstitions and attitudes don't convince them. Realizing that his family doesn't believe him, Lincoln gets resorts to his last tactic. I mean, like, the way how the parents make Lincoln sleep outside. If they didn't want him being in the house with them, they should have just kicked him out of the house. I mean, in this episode, Lincoln's family, including his siblings, are mistreating him in this episode. I mean, Lincoln's like a kid. He's he's not like he's like 18 or anything. If he was 18 or older and he has like a place of his own, maybe that would be believable. But I think this is just kind of stupid on that they made Lincoln sleep outside. It's really stupid that they ended up doing that. I'm being completely honest. It's just stupid in my opinion. Now, if you like this episode, I thought I would say this now. If you like this episode, that's your opinion. I respect your opinion regardless. Now, eventually, Lincoln disguises himself as a mascot of the Squirrels so he can prove that he isn't bad luck. So, eventually, however, the Squirrels are struggling to win the game. After Lynn gets 2 strikes, Lincoln begins to wonder if he's really bad luck at Lynn's softball game. So Lynn manages to hit the ball, and the Squirrels end up winning the game when Lincoln reveals himself to the family, as he states that since Lynn won the game while he was present, it means he isn't, bad luck. So seeing this point, Lynn apologizes to Lincoln for hurting his feelings for her false belief, and the rest of the family follows suit. So, yeah, the family finally believes that Lincoln's not bad luck. The end of the episode, Lincoln is happy that his family no longer sees him as bad luck, but only when he's wearing a squirrel costume, much to his annoyance. I mean, wow, this episode is just, oh god. I mean, there are a lot of things wrong with this episode. One of them being, Not Lucy, nobody really believing in, well, that Lincoln's not bad luck till the very end, making Lincoln sleep outside. A lot of fans were really pissed off at this episode. Like, I mean, I've seen reviews that a lot of fans were really pissed off with the creators of, this episode. I mean, I don't hate the creators of the episode for making this episode. I don't think it was like a really great idea to begin with. That's just me though. I don't know about you guys, but you guys can express your own opinions on this episode because like I said, we have our own different opinions. So, eventually this episode is available on DVDs such as the second season, complete season, Relative Chaos. So, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in this. I mean, one of these episodes, according to, well, the the stuff that is going on, Lincoln rejected attending, just, saying his bad luck about that. Now, one of them being, it is unknown that the event Luna and that Lincoln had rejected, however, it's known to have, since her face was shown on Lincoln's calendar or anything like that. I mean, to be completely honest, I don't really like this episode. I'm stating that right now. I don't like this episode. I mean, I read a fan fiction of it, I think a couple months ago, called Lincoln Loud Luck, or Harley Quinn Loud Luck, Harley Quinn Luck, or something like that. It was based like a sequel on this episode where Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, adopt Lincoln, Luna, Lucy, and etc. I mean, I've read that fan fiction like a couple months ago. You guys can go check it out on my channel if you want to. Overall, this story, not story, but this episode, I'm gonna be 100% honest. This episode portrays Lynn Jr. into being a bully from the start. I mean, Lynn Jr. is such a big bully towards Lincoln in this episode, and I really hate Lynn Jr. in this episode because of the way she acts like a bully towards him. Like, I mean, I know there are times where, Lynn Jr. acts like a bully in other episodes of The Loud House, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite on that. There are other episodes that Lynn Jr. acts like a bully towards, Lincoln, but that's just me, though, personally. But, yeah. You guys might have your own opinions on, this episode. If you like this episode, that's fine. If you don't like this episode, I respect your opinion regardless. Like, if you like it, that's fine. You don't like it, that's understandable too. I mean, I completely understand if you don't like this episode. Like, I mean, I personally don't really like this episode. I mean, the only thing I have to say was the animation was good. Because it's Loud House animation, it's pretty interesting and unique. The only thing I hate is this episode. I mean, that's my opinion. I know a lot of people hate this episode, and I have to agree because this episode is garbage. I'm gonna sit here and say this right now. If you're a fan of this episode, that's fine. I respect your opinion. With all due honesty, this episode is just not that good. Now, before I wrap it up, I want to say, no, this is not me sitting here and, attacking anybody or anything like that. I have nothing against anyone that likes this episode. I have nothing against anyone who created the episode. I have nothing against anyone who created this episode or anything. I mean, it's just basically my own opinion. I just thought I would, go ahead and do it just for the sake of it. Now, anyways, with that being said, what did you guys think about this episode of The Loud House, No Such Luck? I'm sure most of you guys will agree with me that this story was, not story, but this episode is absolute garbage. It's shit. I mean, No offense to anyone who was involved in making this episode. No offense to anyone who made this episode. This is just me expressing my opinion. And like I'm going to say right now, this is just simply my own personal opinion. You happen to disagree with me, that's perfectly fine too, because we're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these creepypastas. No, this is not a creepypasta. We all have our own opinions on this episode. Like, if you like this episode, that's fine. I respect your opinion. If you don't like this episode, that's understandable. So, anyways, I'll be seeing you in the next video. If you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.